Okay. Start recording this now. Mic's on. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's just get cooking here. Stream is good. All right. Time is 9:30. Right, because it's Red in New York Open Sweep. All right. So talk about kind of medium time frame, and then we'll get going through stuff here. All right. So we obviously were rotational within 3 months of value here. We cleaned up lows here. Saw reacceptance back inside of the 10-week composite, the smaller 17 days. So we shifted bullish up to that point, anticipating the traversal, up towards 94, which would be the 3-month value area high, developing month value area high. And then from there, time and space above there, we'd probably go higher. If we fail, then I would expect a breakdown from there. Obviously didn't get there. So here's basically what we're left with. And, how I kind of saw the potential idea of this coming. I shorted this high here pre-FOMC. It was actually one of the easier shorts to take, I would say. Pre-FOMC, it was a really free short. So I kind of scalped that. It didn't hold the move, though. So when it comes to profiles, I've talked about this before, so some of you might be familiar with it. If you have a profile like this, right, and your price, let's say we get acceptance like this, say the POC is here, you're expecting the traversal of value to plot it down to value area low. There is an exception to that where price can tag the POC. If it has a strong reaction, it can interrupt that traversal, retest it and go down, or it can interrupt it, retest it, and then break out the other way. That just comes down to the setup in the whole area itself. But basically what we had here was, this 10-week value area low, or even like the 3.5 month, whatever, it basically got tagged here. Anyways, the POC of both of those is right here. So it's so close to value area low. And then you have multiple other high volume nodes that are relatively the same size in volume traded as the point of control. So I just applied that rule basically to this level here. So you can see we actually came up and tagged this high volume node here, and that's what capped us to the upside, as well as it being an obvious area of resistance with overlapping kind of levels here between value here and value here. And that's what capped to the upside and interrupted the traversal. So I applied the same rule there essentially. So that's what we had there. And then we started to break down, lost 7-day rolling VWAP, kind of collapsed there. Last level, I took a scalp here as well off the POC, so the 3-month POC, as well as previous year val, smaller range val. What's up, Saber? Stuff like that. So I do kind of have a visual. I kind of have an idea of where I think we're going to do now, and I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, so I also looked at this too. I didn't end up getting in it, unfortunately. We built out the poorest lows here that didn't get swept, and then we just kind of got this compressive price action here. And when you get this, it's more likely we just fall off, which is what we got. We didn't get, an aggressive kind of V-shaped reversal sweep reclaim to go long. That was the short for sure. So, I did scalp this level a little bit, and I just played it to the lows. I didn't hold any of this, fortunately. I've just been so busy with stuff. I haven't been extremely focused. Just have so much shit going on right now, but we'll get back to everything I'm doing normally. Full time here soon. I have been since the server kind of came out, back signaling and doing all that kind of stuff. Anyways, from there, lost the 3-month POC, lost this 3-day value area low, lost the 10-week, took out last week's low, and then from there, there's really nothing to stop price, as you can see. So, we look back at older profiles. We had this 8-week, which was really important once we originally flushed into this level back in the beginning of November. This is what I was trading with a lot as we started to build out this bracket, this 3-month bracket now, which I'm going to drag this over. So we have completely shifted bearish at this point, right? So like I said, we had this reaction here, which I still wasn't, dead set that we were going to confirm higher. I think if we shifted above here, that would have been the bullish shift to confirm probably 94K, which we didn't get, being that we topped at rotational. Rotational in this 5-day rejected this other 5-day here. So pretty obvious. And then this high volume node. So it kind of capped upside there. And then obviously broke down. So absolutely bearish right now. I would expect lower. So here's where I'm at right now. I would be looking for shorts. And like I said, we have accepted back inside of this 8-week. Haven't been using this level very much, but the 8-week, now that we're down here, there's nothing else to work with. So, I mean, you can only use the relevant levels you have. So once we were up here, I wasn't looking at it anymore. But now the 8-week composite value area low is going to be important, which is here, I believe, or is it here? I'm not sure why it's saying there. I think that's where I've marked it. I'll have to double check that. It might be closer to this low, but I believe it's, yeah, 90, 92K is where I have it right now. So what I would see now is probably an undersided retest of developing weak val in the 8-week POC, and that would be your short. And then obviously, you know, if we do sweep November low and shift back, that would be a long. And my target would be the 8-week POC, so play the mean reversion from around 81K up to 84K or so is how I would play this. So, excuse me. I mean, if we look here, this is somewhat of a thin area here. I mean, from here to here. Let's zoom in a bit. Right here is kind of thin, right? It's really just imbalance. So you can see, I mean, you have your obvious high volume areas here, and then this is thin. So I would expect that we build out some kind of value through it here. Let me go to a lower time frame. This is what I anticipate happens. I won't be trading for a while now. I just have too much stuff I got to deal with, and then I'm going to finish up the content in the server that I've been working on. But here's what I think will happen, and we've already kind of started. I think we'll build out value here, which we have, right? So we made something like this, and then we'll get a failed break, I believe, into the POC and developing weak val, which will come down, and then that would be your short. That's what I anticipate will happen. And then conversely, you know, if we do sweep November's low and shift back above the 8-week, as well as maybe re-accept or shift back inside of whatever we build out with value here, that would be potential long, and I would just play that up to the 8-week again. But for the time being, I would definitely be bearish at this point. This would be a pretty bullish development here, this shift. And then from there, I would try and play that back up towards, you know, probably 90 or 86K or so. Weekly VWAP, monthly val, 7-day rolling, composite kind of overlap throughout here is what I would expect to happen there. You know, yeah, so if we do continue to break down, I've talked about this many times now. I'll just go to VWAP quickly, and then I'll probably wrap this up. I got other stuff to do today. I'm just busy. Where are we at here? Yeah, so yearly value is what I want to be touching on right now. Right, there's November's low. We have tested that 2024 value area low, right? So value area high rather, sorry. So like I said, if we do shift inside here, you know, you're going to run into this composite. So kind of like the March to, I think, March to November 2024 composite you're going to be dealing with, and 2024 VWAP. So I would expect mean reversion there, and I expect it probably tags the POC of here. You also have this low and this imbalance. So possible we could shift above there, but I think just being the market's always kind of seeking, you know, market's always seeking for value, and it is always going from an area of balance to another area of balance, right? That's what you're going to expect with how the market's going to move. I would expect it probably just comes down to here instead of finding, you know, 74 resistance, or sorry, support. I think it would come closer to 70 or even like 67 or so. So I would expect that to get tagged. So pretty bearish right now in the short term. I think your best trade right now would be off the 8-week POC. From there, maybe a bullish shift back above is how I would play that. And then from there, actually, I want to touch on this quickly as well. Let's wait for this to develop here. All right, so you can kind of see that. Yeah, so what I would expect is, you know, an April low here. So if we shift back inside of 2024 value, I think we'll come down and find a bottom off the POC or the VWAP anywhere around 70 to 67K. And then from there, we'll get a bounce, and I think we'll start building out value throughout here, being that this area is thin. So I would expect we form a multi-week composite here, is what I would expect to happen. So just wanted to touch on that. I'll do a little write-up in the Discord, probably wrap it up here. So